been slaughtered or sold, the remaining female animals will not produce the normal calf and lambing percentages because of the lack of feed during mating season. The current poor exchange rate is not helping. It now costs more to import mutton to make up for the shortages in this sector. For more analysis on the impact of escalating meat prices on farmers and consumers, I spoke to Dr. Xolile Ngethu, Program Manager of the Red Meat Development Program at the National Agricultural Marketing Council. Let's talk about the problem of drought. How is it affecting the farmers, especially on the production and supply side?
Collins, this current drought, in terms of figures, is number one being the West. It's being compared to the drought of more or less 1904, about 100 years ago, in terms of how it's affecting farmers. As you know, we group our farmers into crop producing farmers and livestock farmers. In general, the crop farmers would depend on the rainfall. If the rain is lower than normal, I'll make an example. In the maize growing industry, the cutoff date for planting maize in South Africa is the 20th of November, based on the rain. So if you have had less rains, you'd have to change your planting season, and also that would mean you would even have to change your cultivar. In terms of livestock, we follow a particular farming system where we've got a breeding season, mainly November, December, January being the breeding season, so that August, September, we've got calves that we can supply as meat into the feedlot environment, especially when they're about 9 months old. So in terms of what I've said, the drought has had a serious impact both in crop production and livestock farming.
Because this is confusing. Many people have been saying that we are talking about drought now, but we have seen, a high level of torrential rains in the past few months or weeks or so. So how then do we relate the current rainy season with the drought that we think has long passed? Because there was a prediction that we're not going to have normal rain from November last year up until March this year.
There's a saying in English, one swallow doesn't make it rain. We've had rains, but these rains were not enough for us to have enough filtrage to make the grounds very wet for one to plant, number one, and also you've got ample grazing. Number two, especially in terms of livestock farming, the animals we have to drink water. On average, an average-sized cow would drink 60 to 70 liters of water a day. So if the stock dams are not full, and us getting into the winter, it means we've got a challenge that through the winter period, we will not have enough water for the animals to drink.
So is the supply side constrained this time around, or are we having farmers desperate to slaughter or sell their cattle so that there can be a supply in the market? How is the supply like? Is it constrained or saturated?
The supply, I would say, is constrained in that saturation was when we were beginning to really feel the full effects of the drought. That is September, October, November in 2015, where farmers were anxious to dispose their animals. At the present moment, we are actually having very few readily slaughterable animals that can come into the market. Any animal that you buy, especially in the drought-stricken areas, whoever buys the animal still has to incur costs of preparing that animal for slaughter.
Let's talk about now the prices of meat. They are going up right now. Are the prices regulated, or are we likely to see some meat sellers manipulating the prices to the disadvantage of the consumers?
As you know, before 1994, the marketing environment was controlled, but after 1994, we're in a free economy system. So the prices are not regulated. The prices depend on the demand and the supply. If the demand is high, then the prices are going to be high. If the demand is low, then the prices are going to be low.
How do you gauge the supply side of things, especially amongst commercial farmers? In relation to transformation in the industry, you have white commercial farmers who are well advantaged in terms of naming the prices, selling at the time when they want to sell, whereas black farmers have been complaining that every time when they want to name the prices, they get shortchanged.
The current system that we use in the country is a grading and classification system where mainly meat animals, I'm talking red meat in this case, are classified as either grade A, B, B, or C, depending on the age of the animal. And the age of the animal is gauged on the number of baby tooth they've lost over a period. So the older animal has actually lost all its baby teeth, it has got adult teeth, and invariably the meat is tougher in this case. So in terms of the information on terms of price, we've got the Abattoir Association, which are the main suppliers of a meat into the country. So as custom, the Red Meat Abattoir Association meets every Friday to look at the demand and the supply. So depending on the meat and the supply, that's what will inform whether the meat price is going to be high or low. So what will happen after the Friday meeting, then the prices for the following week will be broadcast, and then when you sell, especially in the formal market, you'll be told that the price for grade C is this amount of kilograms live weight or carcass weight.
Right. We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much for making time to talk to us.
I thank you.
Right, I was talking there to Dr. Xolile Ngethu, who is Program Manager of the Red Meat Development Program at the National Marketing Council. And now we're going to take a break, but we need to take a look at how the markets are performing at the moment.